how big of a game this is. Match that intensity. Do what David Pastrnak said did too. Manage the puck in the offensive zone. Do not allow Florida easy access out of their own zone.
You got to think a guy like David Krejci, who's coming off injury and was playing 3 games in 4 nights, really needed that rest yesterday.
He probably relished it, absolutely, Dale. He gets that opportunity. And look, it's not like he's been just kind of playing. He's playing 19, 20 minutes. So yes, definitely getting that day off should help him too.
We've got a couple of minutes as they're getting ready down on the ice. They've got an automobile out there and a team skating around. It is 7th Player Award night here. And we've talked about, you know, the youthful exuberance of the Bruins as well. We'll see if youth is served in the 7th Player Award domain as well. Let's take it down to ice level now, and our public address announcer, Jim Martin.
Thank you, Jim. Through this down, up season, there has been one constant, and that is the unwavering, loyal, passionate support of all you fans who tonight will fill TD Garden for the 253rd consecutive time. NESN and the Bruins, thank you. You fans now for 46 years have been voting for the 7th Player Award, which goes to the player who goes above and beyond the call of duty and exceeds everyone's expectations. On the ice here, you see a Chrysler 200 all-wheel drive sport provided by the Central Auto Team of Raynham and Norwood. And please join me in a warm Boston Bruins welcome for Tom Easy, the general manager of Central Auto Team, and his son Mike. They are here to present the keys to this vehicle to the NESN.com sweepstakes winner in the voting for the 7th Player Award, Chris Famulari of Norwood. Congratulations, Chris. By the vote of the fans, the young man we honor tonight has been good for many of us through this difficult season because he has kept our fitness in a pretty good form. He's kept us jumping out of our seats almost all winter long. The winner of the 2015 7th Player Award is David Pastrnak. Congratulations, David. Thanks, everybody. Let's have a great game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by a Garden legend. Accompanied by Bruins organist Ron Poster, please welcome René Rancourt.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And thanks to the miracle of elevators, I'm up on the 9th floor now with Brick. Starting Goalies brought to you by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the new Audi A3 with legendary Audi Quattro all-wheel drive tonight. Roberto Luongo's got a chance to register his 400th career win tonight, but remember the 2011 Stanley Cup in this building? 0-3 and 805 goals against average, a 773 save percentage. Astounding. Tuukka Rask, lifetime against Florida, 11-1-1. A 1.05 goals against average, a 963 save percentage, 3 shutouts. You're not going to find numbers much better than those for any goalie against any team. Gerard Gallant's Florida Panthers are 4 back of the Bruins, who sit in the bottom of 2 wild card slots in the Eastern Conference. Claude Julien's guys have gotten back on the right side of the stripe. The game is on. And Brick, is this a 7th game mentality for both of these teams?
It's got to be, certainly for Florida. When you're chasing, it's definitely game 7 just about every night that you play from here on out.
Patrice Bergeron fires the puck on Roberto Luongo.
And Boston wants to match that kind of intensity and continue to play the way they've been playing the last few games.
Jonathan Huberdeau to Jaromir Jagr, but the puck pops over his forehand. Bergeron in the corner against Barkov. It springs free to Huberdeau. Jagr right in front for Barkov, but the Bruins are able to clear. This Jagr, Huberdeau, Barkov line has really clicked since Jagr became a member of the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, just as a presence on this line, Jagr has really helped the young players, especially a guy like Barkov. You know, you look up to great players like Jagr that's been around such a long time. Check. First round pick, 5th overall in 1990. That's going on 25 years this June.
Tremendous passage that was circulated on social media last week about Jagr saying, I finished my workout around midnight. I go home, there's nobody there. I got no family, but I love this game. And that's why I'm going to continue to do it as long as I can. Bergeron fires one right into 19-year-old Aaron Ekblad's body. Ekblad, a brilliant rookie defenseman for Florida. And the Florida people today musing that Ekblad, when he's 25 years old, will have played in about 450 NHL games. And that's usually when defensemen just start to get a handle on what it is that they have to do. He has a chance to be one of the real greats. Riley Smith on the forecheck against Alex Petrovich. He pries it free. Dmitry Kolyakov over to Jussi Jokinen off glass. Soderberg bats it out of the air. Kolyakov carries it out on the backhand, tries to slice it through the seam, and it bounces past Jokinen and Dennis Seidenberg into the corner. Krug right in front of the Boston goal to Soderberg coming back down the defensive slot. Eriksson scoops it up. Riley Smith with a piece of the puck, but then it's off Kolyakov's stick, and it wobbles in on Luongo. Tonight's twisted but true fact of the game. The rosters combined feature 13 players not yet born when Jagr made his NHL debut October 5th, 1990. Twisted Tea, hard iced tea, the refreshing hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted.
720 goals, almost 1,800 career points. Just amazing.
Only 2 behind Ron Francis for a 4th on the all-time list.
I mean, the fitness level is just incredible.
Desire and the yearn to learn. And you look at these points. And that is pretty good company. By the way, happy birthday, Gordie Howe. I believe Mr. Hockey's 87 today. Our producer Brian Zaccello says he read a report that Gordie Howe went fishing on his birthday.
catch anything?
Feel sorry for the fish. He didn't exactly play a finesse game, did he? Zdeno Chara swings behind Tuukka Rask, fires it off the boards. Barkov gets a piece, but the puck deflects to Gregory Campbell. The ex-Panther gives it forward to Max Talbot. It's off the linesman's leg. He rattles around, and it's offside against the Bruins. Claude Julien has had to push a lot of buttons this season and try a lot of different tactics and moves, switching personnel around. But here are the Bruins, half a dozen games away from the end of the regular season, and they control their own fate. Lucic fires it in front. Derek McKenzie up and out of the zone to Sean Thornton, who's been a scratch 5 of the last 7 games for Florida. Thornton in front of the Zamboni doors, leaves it down in the corner. McQuaid after the puck. Kopecky jams for it. Bartkowski gives Kopecky a shove off balance. Derek McKenzie tries to pull the puck along a kick plate. It bounces over Pasternak's stick, but now he blocks it against Kulikov. Petrovic on the diagonal. Pasternak keeps possession, holds it high in the zone now, turns and wheels it toward goal, bounces through Spooner. Krug off the post as the defenseman was at the bottom of the circle in the rotation, with Pasternak going high in the zone.
Yeah, Milan Lucic having a difficult time getting back to the Bruin bench. You hope it's just kind of a stinger. Don't want to lose him right now. He's trying to find his game playing with the 2 kids. Pasternak with a good block in the defensive zone, and then got creative in the offensive zone when he didn't think he had a lane to the net.
Lucic bending over repeatedly on the Boston bench, just going through that period of pain management, as the players call it. Dave Boland off a corner stanchion, and it bounces toward Rask. Dennis Seidenberg settles it down, passes it off of David Krejci's stick. Now Brad Boyes through Seidenberg's leg. Seidenberg mashes him. Brandon Peary's pass right to David Krejci. The Bruins break it up the ice as they're in the middle of a change. Bartkowski coming on to support Krejci at the blue line, but Krejci reeling away from Goodbranson's check. Eric Goodbranson really having a solid year, finally, after having probably unrealistic expectations when he came into the league as a very young player. He's just turning 23 this season, 6'5" and about 220.
And that looked like a pretty good example of David Krejci just not having that gear right now that you'd like to see him have coming through the neutral zone, where he's able to generate some speed and challenge Goodbranson to the outside.
You had medial collateral ligament issues yourself. What is the move that you notice it most on when it's not there?
Well, when I had the MCL issues, I also had the ACL issues. So it's a little more complicated, but it's just really about the power on the cut that's missing.
The MCL, the inside of the knee, so when you put the skate on edge, that's when you're really going to feel it the most, one would suppose. Barkov with a wiggling puck. Huberdeau slaps it over to Jágr, tries to stick handle through traffic. Ekblad the tap. Barkov back on the rockers of the skates. It's Jágr cutting the corner, holds it on the backhand, goes forward to the goal line and all the way through the corner. Brian Campbell tries to pitch it past Bartkowski. Now it's Huberdeau on the end wall, squirts it over to Barkov. Back to the point. Ekblad shot off Kelly's legs, and it bounds back toward the Florida line.
A nice turn of the skate by Kelly. It can be a little dangerous when you expose your ankle like that, or the instep, but it's a good read to block the shot.
Jágr belts the puck deep. Florida gets a change. Pretty good tempo in the first 5 minutes or so of this game. A lot of continuous play. Zach Trotman off Brandon Peary's stick. Boland nudges it forward. Boyes with a jump in his step, taking on Chara, and Chara pokes the puck to the wall. Boyes forward to the goal line. Peary goes after it, but Trotman with the hit and sending it around the corner. Pasternak laterally for Lucic, who immediately returns on his next shift without missing any time after going back to the Boston bench in a little bit of pain. Pasternak off the end boards. Spooner, it deflects off the stick of Petrovic right to Luongo. Torrey Krug appears in goal-scoring areas all the time. The defenseman from in close, off the iron and out. Keys to the game brought to you by Kia. Visit nekiadealers.com to learn more. I'd say 13 goals in 14 games. That'll make most people happy.
Yeah, when you're looking for offensive production at this time of year, if you can rely on one line to be there consistently, then that's a good thing. And the Spooner line with Lucic on the left, Pasternak on the right, have certainly delivered in the month of March. 14 games apiece. You got to look at their points. 8 for Lucic, 12 in the middle for Spooner, and 11 for Pasternak. That's good balance. It's good consistency. They're an aggregate +8. And Lucic with those 54 hits, it tells you he's moving his feet, Jack. He's getting there.
Seidenberg has the puck come through his stick. Brandon Peary in a race. Seidenberg dives to whack the puck over to Torrey Krug. The long indirect pass for Eriksson in front for Smith. He takes but can't complete the forehand backhand move with any leverage and control of the puck. It goes wide of the post. Brandon Peary, who's on a goal-scoring tear. He had 10 shots on goal in a meeting against Montreal about 3 weeks ago, and the next time they met, he had 0. They know who he is now. Brian Campbell takes Krejci to the end boards. Here's Barkov quickly in front of Jagr. He gallops onto the puck. Marchand angles Jagr off. Huberdeau's onside. No, he isn't.
Yeah, it's one of those whistles that was hard to hear. It was definitely offside. Seidenberg with a good defensive effort. Couldn't get to that puck cleanly, but he makes a heads-up diving play away from Peary. And then the quick up by Krug. Indirect off the wall. Nice little pass by Eriksson to Smith. Smith trying to go back in. You'd like to see him force Luongo to have to make a save in that situation, but he misses on the backhand glove side.
Good Branson. Hard off Huberdeau's skate, but it bounds to Willie Mitchell. He hits the brakes. Bergeron on the forecheck. The puck loose, but Barkov is there. Indirect to Goodbranson, and he fires it off a teammate the length of the rink. This is going to be icing against Florida.
Jack, you mentioned the pace of play and where it is right now, and that's a good sign. Both teams trying to really push the pace, yet maintain control of your emotions and manage the puck. That's what this game's going to be entirely about. Critical 2 points on the line.
Oof. This one off Barkov's face-off win comes right back to Luongo.
Good read by Spooner. It looked like Barkov wanted to go on his backhand as a left-handed shot on that side of the ice. Why not help him win it and shoot it?
Give him a little extra power. Huberdeau swivels the puck to Jagr. A nice little chip of the backhand. Here's Kolyikov's wrist shot and a save by Rask.
Pretty good blocks out by Trotman. Jagr trying to get that long reach, get a redirect right off the faceoff. Barkov's lining up, Jack, to take it on the backhand. Actually has his hand turned over a little bit. That's a good read by Spooner.
McKenzie and Campbell on the draw. Campbell wins it to Adam McQuaid. McQuaid was a junior hockey teammate with one of the linesmen tonight. Shandor Alfonso, who's wearing number 52 on the back of his linesman's sweater. As the NHL tries to get more and more players who play the game at a high level to officiate it.
I'm all for that.
To have that kind of feel that you were talking about the other night when you said that Lucic wasn't kicking the puck in, because players do that. Here's Max Talbot, the shot. Dmitry Kolyikov makes the block with the leg. Campbell getting his stick lifted. Derek McKenzie, who's a mucker and a team leader for Florida.
And a hit machine.
Yeah, brings it cross ice. And again, it's offside as Florida's a little out of sync.
Well, the Bruins do a nice job along the wall down deep, but Talbot's going to be the third guy high. He's going to find open space out around the tops of the circles in the middle of the offensive zone. Good rotation, takes that pass. I don't know if he had a lot on it, Jack, because he's moving away from the net, but he couldn't get it by Kolyikov.
Talbot looking for his first goal as a Bruin. He has gone 14 consecutive games without a goal. Not known for his goal scoring, except in 7 games of the Stanley Cup Final, where he was pretty good. Riley Smith kicks the loose puck, rattles around in the center circle. Soderberg jumps on it. Krug over the line, swivels the backhand, but now he gives up numbers. Jimmy Hayes cutting wide right. Fires on Rask. He makes the glove stop and takes the face-off in the Boston end of the ice. Key matchup brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Brad Marchand, a good time to break out of an 11-game goal-scoring drought, because in his last 15 against the Panthers, he's got a +10 rating with 8 goals and 7 assists for 15 points. The one-timer from Hayes, not a lot of spice on that one. Brian Campbell down into the corner. Vincent Trocheck can't get the puck deep. Tries again in the neutral zone. Soderberg throws it in past the goal line. The Bruins will change out behind Soderberg's pressure on the puck. Hayes stick handles, gets through Marchand's check. Hayes works toward the corner, sends the puck in deep. Now it's McQuaid around the wall. Krejci tosses it back, taking the hit from Trocheck in doing so. Bartkowski tries to shove it past Perry, has to turn the other way. Now Bartkowski accelerates and gets separation, gives to Bergeron, flings it into the middle. Krejci knocks down the puck in mid-flight. Goodbranson and Krejci in the corner. Marchand trying to poke the puck out of their skates. Bergeron. Goodbranson for Florida, off the glass and out to center. McQuaid indirect from Marchand, a little wiggle of the hips, loses Bolin. Now cross ice, the puck hops over Bartkowski's stick and he bunts it forward to Boys. And we get a slashing penalty called, I believe.
Yep, Bruins are going to go on the power play.
Brandon Perry going to the box, a little frustrated.
Well, you think about the chance that Riley Smith had, an opportunity to take the lead in this hockey game. That went by the board. Now the Bruins are going to have an opportunity because of this little chop right here. There's your threshold, Jack. I mean, we're only halfway through the first period. That didn't look like much, but Perry's going to go to the box for a slash. Usually when Marchand gets hit with penalties or gets hit like that, there aren't a lot of penalties called because of the style of play that he plays. But the Bruins draw the call. They go on the power play. An opportunity to take the lead with a man advantage. And you've played, what, 2 games in this season series? Yep. Both 2-1 games?
Yep.
Make the power play mean something.
Well, it did last game because it provided the Bruins with a goal. Boston with 13 power play goals in 18 games. And if you do the math and project that over an 82-game season, and 19 games, a pretty good sample size, that comes out to 59 power play goals in a year. Each of the last 2 full seasons in the NHL, that would be in the top 3 in the league in terms of power play goal production. So the change in personnel has borne a lot of fruit already. Alex Petrovic can't clear the puck cleanly, gets a second chance, can't ram it past Riley Smith. The saucer pass to Zdeno Chara, cross ice. It hops through Marchand, and Bolin sends it off glass and out of play.
Yeah, it hit the rounded glass. Yep. Down by Svedberg on the Bruin bench. Bolin actually made a pretty good clear in terms of height level. Thinking he was going to go down the wall, but it just get inside that Bruin bench by the rounded glass, so the Bruins get the benefit of an offensive zone draw and get fresh power play bodies on the ice.
Minute 10 to go on the man advantage. It's Bergeron, Eriksson, Spooner, Krug, and Krejci. Krug with a hustle play after the leap to keep the puck in the attacking zone. Now rotates, gives to Krejci, tees it up, a rocket high. A lively rebound. Willie Mitchell jumps on it, hammers it off glass, gets a wacky bounce to get the puck to the Boston zone.
Yeah, pretty good athletic move, Jack, by Torrey Krug. Not a very tall guy. Good vertical to keep that puck in the offensive zone.
Bergeron working Mitchell's side of the ice. Kopetsky, the other penalty killer over there. Now it's Krejci taking Spooner's pass, gives to Krug. He closes the drive, goes off Goodbranson to the end wall. Eriksson the backhand, tap to Krug. Kopetsky on that side of the ice now. The Bruins are looking for some movement. A hard saucer pass. Spooner takes it out of the air, drops it back to Krejci, draws Kopetsky, saucers it to Krug. Tries to slice it through the seam. Spooner does nicely to get it back to Krejci. Gets a man down. Rockets one off the post on the stick side of Roberto Luongo. The Bruins with a couple of posts in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, Krug had the first one. 5-on-5 situation. Had to shoot it through Spooner after a good rush and a good play by Pasternak. That one there on the power play. Nice little pump fake by David Krejci. It opened up a different shooting lane altogether with a good screen by Eriksson and a caught iron.
Plenty of adrenaline, but no shots on goal, because of course the post is not on goal. Rask rattles it around as we're playing 5-on-5 here. Huberdeau tries to stack up Kelly. Kelly nudges the puck loose, but it squirts to Petrovic. His blast goes off the high glass behind Rask. Talbot pokes the puck ahead. Kelly swivels, gives to Campbell in traffic, but Huberdeau from the back and Petrovic from the front take it away. Jágr in a race against Chara. Chara goes D to Zach Trotman. He gives to Carl Soderberg off the glass in front of the penalty bench. Brian Campbell backs into his own end. Gives across to Ekblad, a saucer pass, tape to Trocheck, and he wrists it in. Chara holds, gets the puck taken off his stick. Jokinen gives it to Hayes, who made that forecheck. Here's Trocheck. The shot goes off of Trotman's stick. Chara dribbles it through the corner. Trocheck at the hash marks looking for Hayes. High slot, but Riley Smith with good stick position to knock it free.
Yeah, second time on that, shifting their own zone, the Bruins, with good stick position. All started with that Chara, tried to go D-to-D behind the net. Got picked off. That caused the problems.
Bartkowski unable to get it past Boyes, who seals off the boards. Boyes dangles, throws it right to the post, and Rask robs Pirri from point-blank range. 6.5 to go in the first period. Torrey Krug is listed at 5'9". It's like days of yore with Kirby Puckett robbing a guy of a home run in mini.
Dwight Evans. Opportunities in both directions. The Bruins with the man advantage. Little pump fake by Krejci. He rips one high on the blocker side. That catches post crossbar. Then a couple of turnovers by Boston. One by Chara led to some pretty good pressure by Florida. Then the follow-up, Bartkowski tries to go up the wall. That gets sealed off by Boyes, and Pirri got a short side chance, and Rask very wisely, Jack, held that short side. Didn't go post to post too early.
Gregory Campbell wins the face-off straight back. Adam McQuaid long indirect looking for Lucic, who gets a piece of the puck. Now goes deep and smacks hard into Petrovic. And the end glass sways backward. Pirri and McQuaid. Pirri leaves the puck behind, now picks it up off the boards. Bolin tries to whip it middle, but McQuaid blocks that down. Bartkowski slides it forward to Spooner, pulls up over the line, gives to Lucic in front. Pastrnak on the redirected puck, still got a piece of it, but couldn't get it on Luongo. Good job back checking by Bolin, getting back with Pastrnak. Now Pirri gives over to Bolin. Pastrnak trying to lift the stick, tries again. Bolin gets it deep and takes a sandwich hit from Bartkowski and Pastrnak.
Well, it started with good layers defensively by Boston. After Pirri was able to get to that long pass, so prevented the icing, they couldn't get anything going because the Bruins had layers defensively, and then it led to a breakout. Spooner made a nice play entering the offensive zone, and you're right, Jack. Pastrnak made a nice adjustment.
Here's Krejci from Bergeron. The shot saved by Luongo. Rebound Krejci, and it's off Luongo, going off the strings wide of the post. Willie Mitchell won a couple of cups with the Kings. Now here's Derek McKenzie, who had a good hit on Krejci earlier in this shift. Kopecky in the corner. Krug stacks him up into the corner glass. McKenzie can't get it through the corner. Campbell with a giveaway. Kopecky point blank, and Rask makes another doorstep save.
Well, the play was there to be made. Campbell wanted to make a short pass to Talbot, but he fanned on it.
Campbell to Talbot, who just knocked Mitchell backward to create a little space for this. Now Kelly working through the corner. Good Branson and Mitchell take it away. Good Branson. Hard off the corner boards. It hits the dasher and pops over Chara. Both teams in the middle of a change. 4.5 to go in a fast-moving first period. Florida coming in. 2 teams and 4 points out of the bottom playoff slot in the Eastern Conference. Both the Bruins and the Florida Panthers have 6 games remaining, including tonight. Aaron Ekblad along his own line to Brian Campbell. Brad Boyes. Pirri can't pick it up. Not sure if that pass was for Pirri or Bolin, but it didn't connect with either.
Yeah, it was for Bolin.
Brian Campbell gives it away. Riley Smith over Soderberg's stick. Boyes taps ahead for Pirri. You see the triangle forming. Here's Ekblad, the shot over the glove side. Ekblad follows his own rebound as Boyes goes tumbling into the net and pulls the peg out of the ice.
Bruins are going to be shorthanded, Jack.
It's an interference being signaled, I believe, against McQuaid. David Krejci with a chance, but Roberto Luongo has been able to stop everything. Florida to the power play when the game resumes.
We talk about the Bruins and their stick position defensively. Well, you're going to get a little taste of it right here from the Florida Panthers. It looked like Smith had a passing lane to Soderberg, but Dave Bolin got his stick on it. And as you watch the replay, you can just see Ekblad explode into the offense to create 3-on-2. Because Soderberg's the third man high, and he's moving forward into an offensive posture position. When that puck turns over, now you're going to have numbers. Ekblad's able to skate by everybody, join the rush, but his shot is wide on the glove side. But McQuaid guilty of interference.
Saved by Rask, robbing Dmitry Kolyakov.
Nets off its mooring, Jack.
Peary's shot, and Rask lunges with the left leg, and the net comes completely off the peg. I'm not sure a goal would have counted here because it looked like the peg was out even before that shot.
Well, on the right pad save on the one-timer from Peary.
That's Peary.
And then all of a sudden, Rask has to make another left pad save. And there was a little bit of contact, but I think this post wasn't as secure. Well, there you go, right there. Seidenberg makes contact with the net. But it was McQuaid that knocked one of the Florida players in the net to get the interference call. I'm not sure the net was secure when it was put back in place. Although Seidenberg's pretty powerful.
Bergeron goes for a tumble over Brian Campbell, and Campbell's going to go to the box for tripping. So for minute 31, it'll be 4-on-4. And Brian Campbell, a very valuable skater for Florida, will be in the box.
Again, pretty good effort by the Bruin penalty killers. This time it's Bergeron able to get to that puck, makes a heads-up play to chip into the neutral zone. Realizes he has a chance to get around Campbell, maybe get a short-handed opportunity. Campbell just extends the foot, skate, and leg just enough to trip him up, and he'll go to the box.
Torrey Krug chips the puck past Louis Eriksson. It rides around the corner boards. Aaron Ekblad to Jaromir Jagr. Eriksson hops right on him. Now here's Eriksson in front. The backhand with patience. He scores. There's ice water in that Swede's veins.
And it's the other Swede that actually should get an assist on this play. It's Soderberg. Looked like he got his stick on this pass attempt to free the puck up to Eriksson. 4-on-4, the Bruins take advantage. They've had a couple of good looks. They've got a post or two already here in the first period. Puck pursuit, stick position. These two players are very good at it. Soderberg is going to get his stick in there, an pass attempt to go back to Kolyakov. This is a nice rotation. And Eriksson doesn't stay on the boards. He gets back into the play, makes the steal deep in the offensive zone. Then it's just he and Luongo. And patience was the word. Waited on the backhand, made Luongo commit, and still had leverage to put that puck halfway up the goal.
4-on-4 for another minute. Bergeron swipes the backhand forward. Good Branson on the bouncing puck. Dave Bolin flicks it over toward Willie Mitchell. The short pass for Bolin. He flicks the backhand for Huberdeau. Dennis Seidenberg going D to Zach Trotman in front of the Boston goal for Seidenberg. Ryan Spooner on the turn, accelerating toward Willie Mitchell as the Bruins change out behind him. Spooner pulls into the eddy of the flow. He's got Krug in front. Luongo off the corner glass. Jagr lunges it to the red line. Lucic gets a piece of the puck, and Krug takes control for Boston. Krug right up the middle for Krejci in the seat behind Petrovic, and a great play by Kolyakov on the diagonal to rob Krejci of a chance. Krejci, who's feeling it right now, cuts back against Petrovic, slings it off the boards. Krug jumps up. Jagr uses the long stick and the reach to send the puck to center.
Yeah, Krejci just can't get enough separation. He's making the right plays, making the right reads. He just doesn't have that gear to get that separation in order to finish the play.
Kolyakov hard off the boards. Krejci has to wait for Spooner to clear the zone, sends it around the rim. Less than 20 seconds to go on this brief Boston power play. Krug takes a chop at it, but it goes into Jokinen's legs, and the Panthers are able to clear. Derek McKenzie ahead of the crowd takes control of the puck. He'll rag it back to the neutral zone and bleed the rest of the clock out. And Brian Campbell's out of the box.
How about Torrey Krug, Jack? You know, when Spooner made that one-man rush and he pulled up, it was Krug off that far post, and he was the one that got back, made a defending play after Lucic disrupted things in the neutral zone. He made that great pass to Krejci.
Next man up, and Torrey Krug sure has looked like a top four defenseman when given the chance. Trotman's blast goes off Barkov's legs. Jagr cross ice for Jonathan Huberdeau. Huberdeau tries to move on Trotman. He plays the body. Chara takes the puck. Rips the backhand around the glass, but Campbell's there. Down into the corner off the heel of Huberdeau's stick. Chara. It bounces off glass, rattles around Ekblad. Eriksson to Marchand to Soderberg. Soderberg teaks on Brian Campbell, pulls up out of the circle. McQuaid's shot partially blocked. Comes down in the circle, and Boyes gets it toward Peary, but the puck all the way through to Seidenberg. Dennis Seidenberg up to Chris Kelly in front of the Boston bench. Gregory Campbell wheels it all the way behind Luongo. Brian Campbell off the boards. Peary has Boyes on his right, elects to go off the boards. It rattles up on the glass. Seidenberg right in front. Here's Peary off of Boyes' effort. The siren sounds to end the first. In real time, that seems to be about as fast a period as we've seen in quite a while. Both of the teams brought their skating legs tonight.
Yeah, it speaks to the pace of the game, pace of the period, pace of where they are in the standings and how important the 2 points are. Both teams had a couple of good looks. Boston probably the better of the looks, although a couple of stealth opportunities for Florida. But a good opening period. You want to be even or better, and they're better.
Dale, Florida has a hard time coming from behind. The Panthers ranked 24th in points percentage when trailing after one. Boston Bruins Hockey on NESN is brought to you by Ace Ticket, by Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin', and by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Alongside Andy Brickley with Garrett Austin at ice level and our NESN production crew, I'm Jack Edwards. We're coming your way live from TD Garden. Louis Eriksson has reached the 20-goal plateau for the 5th time in his career, and in a very fast-moving first period, the Bruins took a 1-0 lead against the Florida Panthers. For his trivia question, which eventual Norris Trophy winner scored the game-winning goal in Roberto Luongo's first career win? Relevant because Luongo is at $3.99 tonight. Visit NESN.com/the4s for the answer and enter to win a $50 gift certificate that can be used at the Fours Restaurant and Sports Bar in Boston, Quincy, or Norwell.
Well, I know he got drafted by the Islanders.
Yeah.
Before he got traded to Florida.
Right. It must have been a big goal. I mean, like a really big goal. Like probably stood really tall. Game summary brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Rick, we did the math. There was an average of 1 minute and 11 seconds between every whistle in the first period. That is extraordinary in a game in which there was plenty of checking. It's not as if they were running out the score in a 4-goal game and just sort of out for a waltz.
Yeah, it's only 8 o'clock, and I mean, you delayed the game by about 15 minutes with that presentation.
That reminds me of when our producer Brian Zaccello goes through the format and it's Jack's turn to talk and he says, and we're going to be long. That's genetic. Chara shoulder to shoulder with Jaromir Jagr. If you're just joining us past the top of the hour, it's Boston Bruins Hockey on NESN. These 4 points ahead of the opposing Florida Panthers. And Florida really in a must-win situation. Both of these teams have 6 games remaining in the season. And Florida has to leapfrog 2 teams to get into the playoff structure. And they have to do it without Nick Bjugstad. We haven't mentioned tonight that the top goal scorer for the Florida Panthers is out for the season after having back surgery. Tonight, the penultimate game, as always, is the 7th player trophy presentation, and it was the most one-sided election since Nixon beat McGovern. I mean, David Pastrnak has just captured everyone's imagination.
Yeah, terrific young player, terrific young kid, first of all. You know, you just love young players, and young it is because he's the youngest guy in the NHL, but eyes and ears wide open, paying attention, learning, accepting the coaching, trying to get better without the puck, how to play defensively within the system, and the coaching staff encouraging that creativity that he brings naturally to the rink.
Brandon Peary drives one into Max Talbot. The Bruins killing a penalty. Brad Marchand for high sticking, and Peary gets back on the goal-scoring bandwagon. A pure shooter, and he fires home another dart. Peary now has 12 goals, and in that run of 12 goals, he doesn't have a single assist. Who needs assists?
Well, the first attempt is blocked. That's a pretty good effort by Talbot to get in the shooting lane. But then he gets a second opportunity. Now there's a clear lane to the net, and it's just a bomb over the glove, off the crossbar, down and in. And those are the penalties you don't like to see Marchand take because, you know, you got a 1-0 lead. It's early in the second period, a fresh sheet of ice. Obviously, the game means a great deal to both teams, and you just don't want to take penalties that are unnecessary and allow teams to tie the hockey game with a power play goal.
And right to the forecheck, Vincent Trocheck going down after colliding with Ryan Spooner. Spooner picks up the bouncing puck, reaches around to get it to Pastrnak. He pulls up short of the line and slings it in. Dmitry Kulikov working through the circle to the left of Luongo, gives it up into the neutral zone. It's off Trocheck's stick. Lucic bumps into Jokinen. Pastrnak picks up the puck. Spooner tries to scrape it back, but Jimmy Hayes disrupts that. Trocheck takes it on the diagonal. The shot, stick saved by Rask. The puck goes off the end boards. Trocheck, a Pittsburgh native, brings it back. Here's Petrovic, gives to Perry the snapshot through the crowd and just wide. You can see it doesn't take a lot of space for Brandon Perry to get the shot off, and he's got some space here. Ekblad walks into one. Seidenberg with the block. Brad Boys on the far side. Seidenberg bumps him pretty hard. Seidenberg can't get rid of it. Dave Bolland throws it in front. Perry trying for the one-timer, but he couldn't get all of it. Attacking zone time mounting for Florida. Ekblad's drive with purpose, but Rask does a great job punching it to the far side. Pastrnak a little bit impatient on the clear, and it's icing against Boston.
Yeah, a pretty good example of that Spooner line and how they can get hemmed in their own zone. They turn the puck over the neutral zone. That's what caused the problems. There's the high stick by Marchand against Gudbranson. Gudbranson's hit him a couple of times tonight. You don't want to take those types of penalties. Put too much pressure on your penalty killers in a game like this, and now the Bruins are hemmed in their own end.
It is the 5th time that Marchand has had to make the so-called skate of shame coming out of the penalty bench after a goal has been scored, and that leads the Bruins. Derek McKenzie back to Ekblad along the line to Brian Campbell, throws it through the corner. Seidenberg gets his stick knocked out of his hands by Sean Thornton. We've seen that called interference before. Now here's Louis Eriksson, although it shouldn't be. It's the old Pee Wee lesson there. If you see a guy a little bit soft in the hands on his stick, just knock his stick right out of his hand. McKenzie cross ice. Thornton turns and cranks it off the boards through the corner. Bartkowski holds, pushes it in front of himself. Now here's Soderberg accelerating over the spoke being into the attacking zone. Eriksson in front off Kulikov's stick, and Luongo dives on it.
Win a pair of tickets to the last home game of the regular season this Saturday, April 4th, against the Maple Leafs, and the opportunity of a lifetime to accept the jersey of a Bruins player on ice after the game as part of the Shirts Off Our Back ceremony. Raffle tickets are just $5, and proceeds benefit the Boston Bruins Foundation. To purchase a raffle ticket, visit bruinsraffles.org.
Perry's 21st of the season from Campbell and Hayes. Gudbranson draws Max Talbot, goes D to Willie Mitchell. Gudbranson through a congested neutral zone will just fire it off the glass and around the rim. Talbot jamming against Huberdeau. Trotman takes a spill. Chara picks up the puck. Turns the wrists to get it to Gregory Campbell. His pass too far forward for Talbot. Mitchell gets possession back for the Panthers. Gudbranson. Now it's Jágr. Barkov tosses the backhand with purpose on Rask. He does a good job to steer it wide of Huberdeau. Here's Marchand on the counter with Bergeron on the net drive. Marchand pulls up the drive from Bartkowski, and Bergeron gets a piece of it. It goes wide of Luongo's goal. McQuaid into the pile. Bartkowski jumps up past the hash marks, fires it across the slot. Jimmy Hayes takes the hit from McQuaid, can't get it out of the zone. Marchand's shot blocker stopped from Luongo. Hayes up the boards for Mitchell. He spoons it to the Boston line. Adam McQuaid Looking for a quick up, comes cross ice. David Krejci there. Florida gets numbers back. Petrovic fresh onto the ice. Pass Trocheck. Spooner gets position underneath him. Throws it in front for Pastrnak. Trocheck off the end board. Pastrnak reads it well with speed, but Goodbranson, the big body, takes it away. Lucic, a bigger body, takes it away from him. Jokinen can't clear. Lucic, high slot, gives to Krug. Krug's shot, leg save by Luongo. Seidenberg off the board. Spooner tosses it back. Lucic cocks and fires. It's off Petrovic. Seidenberg in front, couldn't scoop it up as he was tumbling. Till Luongo's right.
Back-to-back strong shifts. It started with the Bergeron line, followed up by the Spooner line. A number of good looks.
Playoff-type response from the Bruins as Florida scored, and since then it has been almost all Boston. Bartkowski taps the puck ahead, but Fury reads it well and sends it behind Rask.
Yeah, Marchand with that good speed through the neutral zone pull-up. Found Bartkowski coming off the bench. Lucic had a couple of good opportunities. Seidenberg on a rebound.
Krug through the passing lane to Riley Smith. He works one-on-one against Dmitry Kolyakov. Gains the line. Gives to Eriksson off the boards, looking for either Smith or Bartkowski. Neither can control. McQuaid snaps the backhand over to Soderberg. He lofts it near side. Smith takes a huge hit from Petrovic to get the puck deep. McQuaid battling Peary on the far side. Kolyakov lifts the puck and rides the dasher and drops down for Petrovic. Wrists it ahead to Brad Boyes. The ex-Bruin in front of the penalty bench doors. Spins it off the end boards. McQuaid back to take it unopposed, and Peary gives an extra chop to Talbot. They had something going that whole shift. Bartkowski wiggles the hips, gains the line, leaves it off for Gregory Campbell, but he can't do anything with it. It's transition for Florida. Thornton on the off wing, curls and drags off the toe of the blade, throws it in front. It goes off Kopetsky's stick and wide as Bartkowski got knocked down in the collision. Talbot weaving behind Chris Kelly. Brian Campbell ahead. McKenzie off of Kopetsky's skates. Chara doesn't get much on the pass, but Trotman does well to get rid of it to Kelly. Off the boards, it bounces high off the kick plate. Campbell can't knock it down. Barkov quickly ahead for Huberdeau. He drops the body and accelerates, powering toward Trotman. Trotman plays the body all the way and then picks off the puck. Good stuff from Zach Trotman defensively against a dangerous play. Chara gives it away. Jokinen rifles the puck wide. It hits corner boards. Mitchell tries to get it in deep. Krejci with a stick handling move to get it through Jokinen. Marchand barrels up the left wing against Goodbranson. Hits the brakes, turns, slides it down low circle. Krejci tugging away at Mitchell. They had a pretty good battle going on in the slot. Marchand back for Krug, but the puck all the way to the Boston zone. High intensity play here. Krug, a long diagonal intended for Krejci, doesn't connect. It's icing against Boston.
Pretty good pushback by Boston after Florida tied the hockey game on a power play goal by Perry. Krug coming late, gets to the top of the circle. That's a bomb. Low glove side. Good left pad save by Luongo. Lucic with a high drive. Seidenberg, who stayed around in that slot area because he had Lucic back at the point. He got a second chance opportunity. Luongo got that one as well.
Krug spins away from Perry, sends it around the boards. Krejci catches it on the backhand, steps around the Bolin check. Marchand on the forehand to Bergeron, the one-timer in and out of the glove of Roberto Luongo when he covers for the faceoff. Dennis Seidenberg found himself in front with the puck there, but couldn't quite keep the balance to get leverage on the puck. It's 1-1 mid-second.
Here in Austin, welcome to the Xfinity Zone. Last Tuesday was the Cuts for a Cause event. It was the first year that Patrice Bergeron took over for former Bruin and current Florida Panther Shawn Thornton. Shawn Thornton was impressed that Patrice Bergeron stepped up to take over the event, and he was really impressed that he was able to get 100% participation for the first time. Thornton said that Bergeron asked everyone nicely, where his approach was a little different. The event raised over $130,000 to the Boston Bruins Foundation and the Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center.
Garrett, I think that runs the total past $500,000 that Cuts for Cause has raised through the years. Not only that, it cuts down on the Bruins' wind resistance late in the season. Yeah, look at those old school pictures of Bobby Orr when he came up with a crew cut.
Yeah, you just don't want to be Samson-esque.
Right. Exactly. Max Talbot had a pretty good flow going. You could probably make a rug out of what they cut off his head. Alex Petrovic in his own zone. Kolyakov long indirect for Perry. Perry had 11 goals in 11 games before a brief 2-goal drought. Kolyakov throws it and hits the dasher, goes about 20 feet in the air. Bolin bangs down the bouncer, but Eriksson's there. He gives it away to Boys. Boys cross ice, nobody home. Seidenberg sweeps the one-hander ahead. Riley Smith makes a nice recovery. The puck 4-on-2 for the Bruins coming up ice. But Petrovic takes the body against Eriksson. Petrovic then blocks Smith's centering pass. Bolin taps the backhand to Perry, guns it off the boards. It drops in front of Boys, but also in front of Bartkowski, who keeps possession for the Bruins.
That was a good read by Petrovic. He knew that there was possible numbers for Boston. He aggressive play at the defensive blue line against Louis Eriksson.
Soderberg gets the leg out on Jussi Jokinen and might have gotten away with a leg check there. McQuaid, the dart tape to Lucic. He dribbles it past Kolyakov and into the corner. Dances around Kolyakov, who jams with the leg, but he inadvertently kicks it to Spooner. Spooner to Pasternak. In traffic, back to McQuaid. McQuaid cranks one off and a leg saved by Luongo. Luongo's been quick with the pads tonight. Luongo did not play against Ottawa a couple of nights ago. A recurrence of the upper body injury that led to the comedy earlier this season with both Florida goalies getting hurt, and they were going to dress either a position player or just pull some guy out of the stands. Bartkowski can't one-handed pass Trocheck. McQuaid tries to pit in Trocheck and does. Hayes gets it loose, but Spooner's right there. Lucic finds Pasternak. Brian Campbell gets underneath Pasternak. Here's Aaron Ekblad ahead to his own line. It's off of Hayes' stick all the way into the Boston end. Ekblad. Well, here comes Kelly on his horse. McKenzie trying to line him up. Kelly loses an edge as he hits the brakes hard. Thornton past Talbot to Kopecky. He tries a self-pass. Trotman with a hop in his stride. Goes back, collects it. Just misses the apron of the goal, but gets the puck to Chara. Chara saucer, tape to Talbot's backhand. He nudges ahead for Campbell. Wheels it on Luongo, who sticks the puck high off corner glass. Thornton backhands it behind his own goal line. There's Ekblad taking the hit from Gregory Campbell. Brian Campbell off the glass, but not out of the zone. McKenzie tries to tear loose from Kelly. Here's Thornton, the shot saved by Rask. Chara taps it up the slide. Huberdeau's shot deflects off a body up and into the protective netting in the corner of the rink. 9:22 to go, second period. They are racing like horses up and down the ice tonight.
Exciting Rewind is brought to you by Berkshire Bank, where no two customers are alike. We're going to rewind it back to the first period. No score at the time, late in the first. We're playing a little 4-on-4. The Bruins able to win the face-off. They try to make a play down the short side. Down low to Eriksson, it doesn't connect, and even though the Florida Panthers have 4 players in pretty good shape, Soderberg and Eriksson do an unbelievable job on the forecheck. Soderberg's able to redirect a pass attempt on a back diagonal, and when you focus on Louis Eriksson and his abilities in tight around the net, he's a pretty good goal scorer, able to chip that puck by Kolyakov, gets Luongo to commit, stretches out on the backhand in order to have leverage, patience, and timing. And what it does is it opens up the net. It almost looks like a bad angle, but when you're on your backhand and you're positioned well, you can have accuracy on the backhand, and that gave the Bruins a 1-0 lead.
Excellent pronunciation of the Cyrillic alphabet with Kolyakov, by the way.
I'm listening.
Happy birthday to Mike Conrad, 50 years old today, from Pelham, New Hampshire, and his wife Kathy, born on the same day. She's turning 39 again. Big Bruins fans in Pelham. Centering pass, Krejci one-hands it. Now Marchand shielding the puck from Mitchell. Gets it set up, but Barkov's there. Huberdeau swings it over to Boys. Cross corner dump in. Trotman alert to it. Hops over his stick, but there's Bergeron one stride behind to rescue the puck. Boys tips the backhand to Huberdeau in the corner. Trotman gives him a pretty stiff bump. Boys nudges the puck to the near side. Barkov with Bergeron approaching. Barkov tries to muscle past, and Chara stops him with the shoulder. Bergeron takes the puck indirect off the end boards to Chara. Chara a couple of strides, and then the diagonal does not connect with Krejci, and it's icing against the Bruins.
There's a new show on NESN that will change the lives of aspiring New England college filmmakers. NESN Next Producer, a series of original sports films created by local student filmmakers that will be judged by Hollywood execs and you. See all the films on NESNnext.com and vote for your favorite. NESN Next Producer premieres Monday night at 7.
Bergeron the face-off win, but the Bruins can't clear the zone, and it's now ruled that the puck hopped over the line and Petrovic slaps it back in, so it's offside against Florida, which has shown a ton of energy throughout this game and a desire to get the Bruins to skate the full 200 feet.
Yeah, and you can see a little bit of fatigue on the Bergeron line. They worked real hard defensively in their own zone, and after that little indirect pass by Bergeron and Char, they don't connect with Krejci, icing, and they just drifted to the Bruin bench. They were a little spent once they got the benefit of the offside. But Claude Julien was waiting to see what Florida was going to do before he got his matchup.
Jussi Jokinen with the knockdown and the dump in. Torrey Krug finds Louis Eriksson high in the defensive zone, cross ice, but it bounces past Riley Smith. Kolyakov off Smith and into the Boston bench. The faceoff will be inside the Florida zone.
The TD Bank Community Clubhouse and the Boston Bruins would like to welcome Cub Scout Pack 63 of Walpole, Den 2 Webelos. Is that how you say it? Webelos?
I think it's
Webelos 1 to tonight's game. At TD Bank, they're committed to supporting the communities we serve by making a difference together.
I was a Cub Scout. Can't remember where I topped out. It was like bear or lion or something like that.
What was your skill? Not making?
Yeah. N-O-T, not making. Yeah, that's it. Trocheck, cross ice. Brian Campbell, the diagonal to Dorchester's Jimmy Hayes. Stick handles into traffic and runs out of room. Soderberg up to the red line, snaps it past Ekblad. We were saying earlier, Ekblad, he's 19 years old. You don't notice him that much, but that's kind of good for a young defenseman because he is so rarely out of position. You hear Denny Potvin, who sees him every game because he calls color for Florida's telecast. He says, this kid is so tuned in for a 19-year-old, you just can't believe it.
Yeah, if you notice him most nights with a young player at that age, you're noticing mistakes. Yeah. So if you don't notice him, that's a good thing. And then when you go back and look at the tape, you say, wow, that was a good play. That was a good play. Subtle, but good play.
Yeah. Pasternak stick handling. Bartkowski with a big reach to keep the puck in the attacking zone. And he bounced it to the corner. Spooner right on Luongo. And because of that hard work out at the blue line, the Bruins actually get a scoring bid on it.
Yeah, Bartkowski's able to explode to his right along the blue line to keep this play alive. Pasternak's trying to make a little backhand pass, but he fans on it. It was intended to go to the forehand side to Bartkowski, but it rides off the curved blade of the backhand, and then Bartkowski has to react.
Here's Bartkowski, but he fans on it. Here's Boyes breaking up ice with Peary, the other man. McQuaid down, and Boyes gets it 5-hole on Rask. Florida has come from behind to take the lead in the middle of the second period. Brad Boyes burns his ex-team.
Just after he gave Bartkowski a little love for making a good play on the back end at the blue line. This time he's going to fan on a little snapshot. Now he's in trouble, flat-footed. Boyes is able to put pressure on him right off the faceoff. That's a good faceoff win, but it hops over the stick. And now the Bruins are in trouble. McQuaid's going to lay out and not allow this pass to be made, and that's a save you'd like to see Tuukka Rask make, particularly in this game at this time. With this importance, it's just a quick snapshot by Boyes. Under the stick, under the pad, along the ice. Inside that far post, Bruins giving up a pair here in the second period. Down by 1.
Boyes is 13th of the season, and that is a huge goal for the Florida Panthers, who are trying to get within 2 of the Bruins tonight. David Krejci lugs it up to the red line. Along the line to Chara, he sends it in deep. Jokinen. Bergeron goes through the puck. Marchand keeps it alive. Krejci to Bergeron, the shot, and a save by Luongo, who was already down and square. Good Branson blocks Krejci, knocking him backward, and Krejci loses his low glove.
13th of the season for Brad Boyes at 12:37.
Brad Marchand with a little S-turn. Up to the line, Bergeron pulls it with the toe of the blade. Krejci the bouncer in on Luongo with Marchand crashing the crease. Huberdeau. Talbot takes it away, gets tripped up as Jokinen clips his skates, inadvertent contact, and on they go.
And the one-timer by Bergeron, and even though Luongo made the save, he did have a little look behind him.
Dennis Seidenberg off the end boards. Torrey Krug rattles it around. Campbell holds it at the blue line. Seidenberg, Thornton with the hit, and the puck comes loose. Campbell underneath the fallen Thornton. Kelly finds the passing lane to Talbot. He's got Gregory Campbell on his right. Gets it in deep. There's Krejci's glove still lying on the end boards. McKenzie gets it up the wall. Kopetsky tries to finish the clear. Thornton battles with Kelly. Kelly off to Seidenberg. And Dennis Seidenberg up to the red line. Thornton finishes his check right on the dasher. And Campbell runs into the dead glove lying on the ice. Vinny Trocheck has to curl away from Erickson. Brian Campbell up to Aaron Ekblad. Ekblad tumbles one to the corner boards. Bartkowski off glass. Funny bounce past Talbot, and Petrovic controls Florida, looking really comfortable right now. Trocheck off of Bartkowski's skates. Soderberg can't gather in Riley Smith's pass. Now Trocheck into the corner with McQuaid angling to the puck. McQuaid gets there first. Bartkowski is off his stick, bouncing around the post. Trocheck there. Rask tries to pin it and does. Some nervous moments for the Bruins around Tuukka Rask's goal. 4:58 to go, second period. Brad Boyes has put Florida on top. You know, if you want me to tell you the numbers, we actually average the number of points for each division. Central teams, all 7 Central teams average are at 93 points. Atlantic is next to the bottom at 83. The Central is just ridiculously loaded this season.
Yeah, top 5 teams 90 or better. Yep. And maybe all 5 qualify for the playoffs.
Yep. Krug through Seidenberg. Lucic up the boards. Gives it back to Seidenberg.
And there is an inherent advantage, by the way, mathematically, if you play in the West.
Yeah. 4 out of 7 is easier than 4 out of 8, isn't
exactly.
Bruins again having trouble getting the puck out of the defensive zone, and the Spooner line is on the ice right now. Krug lugging it up out of the circle, does not connect forward for Bergeron, who was on there to try to relieve some of the pressure. And this will go for icing. Well, the Bruins are actually getting some help tonight, because if Washington ends up losing its game against Carolina, which is 2-2 in the second period, the Bruins with 2 points would be within 1 of Washington, but you got to take care of business here first.
Yeah, we were watching the Ranger-Washington game before the Carolina-Boston game started, saying the same things, and the score was relatively the same.
Yeah.
But it ended up 5-2.
Yeah, Washington's kind of explosive. Huberdeau throws it into the middle looking for Barkov. Bergeron high off glass, but it stays in the rink. Petrovic at the red line. Jokinen back to Petrovic. The Bruins changing out man by man. Krejci onto the ice. Now Marchand follows him, and Pasternak with a makeshift line here. Huberdeau drives one off Seidenberg's stick. Seidenberg finishes his check. Huberdeau goes flying sideways into the boards. And Florida's a little hot under the collar, understandably, because Huberdeau is a talented player, but that was just a good, hard hockey check.
Yeah, Huberdeau this thought it was a little late. Seidenberg's the one that deflects it up over the glass. Everybody knows it's going out of play, and Seidenberg just decides to finish the check. Get a look at the replay here. It's a good hit. It's exactly what Seidenberg should do.
Yeah, and also Seidenberg might have been able to deduce that the puck was going out of play, but he didn't know it. Right. His back was to the flight of the puck.
And even if he does, it's a good finish of a check. In your own zone, a talented player on the other team, be hard on that hit. It's a good play.
Seidenberg and Chara, while they still have their ups and downs, in the last half-dozen games have looked more and more stable on their skates.
Yes. And by the way, that faceoff came outside because Petrovic came all the way in from the right back.
And there it is again when the defenseman goes past the dots. After a stoppage, here's a steal. Kopetsky fires it off Chara's pads. Chara, the soft backhand through the corner. Pasternak beaten to the puck by Brian Campbell. Campbell around the boards. Marchand drops the shoulder against Derek McKenzie. Ekblad along the line. Brian Campbell shot and a blocker saved by Tuukka Rask. The Bruins spending a lot of time in their own zone in this second period as we click toward 3 minutes to go. Zdeno Chara carries it up and out of the Boston end of the ice. Across the center circle, the backhand doesn't get past Brian Campbell. Campbell flips it all the way to the Boston end. Florida changes out behind that dump in. Bartkowski swivels to Adam McQuaid. Up the boards to Riley Smith. He's got Eriksson and Krejci on his left. Krejci bats it out of the air. A blocker stopped by Luongo. Eriksson trickles the puck to the end boards. Krejci comes off the end wall. McQuaid quickly to Bartkowski. The wrist shot. Trocheck knocks it down. Tries to angle it forward. Brian Campbell mucks in the corner with Louis Eriksson, who gives him a little bit of the whatever with the stick. McQuaid wrists one off the corner glass, and Luongo knocks it down with about 2 minutes to go. Here's Eriksson with the steal in front. Soderberg the shot, and Luongo makes a huge save for Florida. Chara's wrist shot all the way through the slot untouched. Riley Smith, tough chance for Trotman. He can't keep possession, and Soderberg sliced in front of him. Jimmy Hayes spoons it to the corner.
Yeah, bad turnover. Luongo and his defenseman. Some miscommunication allowed Louis Eriksson to make a play to Soderberg. Soderberg didn't flush it, though.
Bolin to Mitchell. The drive goes wide of Rask. A lively bounce off the kick plate. Soderberg wrists it ahead for Eriksson. Good Branson. Cross ice, a bouncer. Peary catches it on the backhand. His pass too far forward for Boyes, and Boston gets the puck back. Trotman off Eriksson skates. Talbot stops it for Eriksson on the go. Eriksson on the pivot, swivels middle for Soderberg. Good Branson hard on the stick of Soderberg, so he didn't have a free chance from point blank for the redirection. Krug taps the backhand off the end wall. Seidenberg to Chris Kelly. Willie Mitchell gives to Eric Goodbranson ahead. Jonathan Huberdeau into the Boston zone. Krug to Seidenberg. Off the boards. Kelly angles it for Talbot. Goodbranson is there. It's high off glass. Final minute of the second period. Gregory Campbell goes through. Goodbranson bouncer right in front. And Florida looks for transition. Huberdeau fills the middle with Jokinen left. This is Barkov on the right. Throws it middle. Huberdeau can't control the bouncing puck. Barkov A-frames against Krug. Shields the puck, nudges it toward the post, and then just keeps on going. Ends up on the apron of the goal as Rask gets the faceoff.
Tomorrow on NESN Live, presented by Cross Insurance, Gary Streisky and Sarah Davis will have the latest on the Bruins, a preview of the Celtics hosting the Pacers, and details on Clay Buchholz's final spring start every weeknight at 5:30.
A dissatisfying second period for the Bruins. Shots on goal are 19-14 in favor of Boston, which gives Boston a 12-7 edge in the period, but a soft goal through Tuukka Rask, and also Florida frequently penning Boston into its own zone in the second period have thwarted any attacking rhythm the Bruins might have hoped to develop. Chara in the final half minute. Gives one away to Jokinen. Some boos raining down from the upper deck. Final 15 seconds of the period now. McQuaid gives back of the goal. Chara has to make an adjustment with Boyes hustling onto the puck. Petrovic controls in the neutral zone in the final 5 seconds. This is off Bergeron's stick, and it skies over the protective netting and lands about 20 rows up in the loge. Attacking zone time in this period. Florida with about a minute and a half advantage on Boston.
One X's and O's observation in the second period, Jag. The breakout for Boston, when they've had a hard time breaking the puck out, even when they've had time, it looks like that weak side winger, they haven't been able to hit him. He's too high. Yep. He's got to get a little down further. They've iced the puck a couple of times. They haven't made that play consistently. It's there to be made. When they work that puck out, Florida overloads the center and the board side. That defenseman can go across the ice to the weak side winger, but he's got to be in a seam, and he wasn't in that period, and they didn't alleviate some of that zone time pressure that Florida was able to establish.
Dale, as you know and you've illustrated before, desperation isn't just about sweat and desire, it's also about execution, and right now Florida's executing better than the Bruins are. Boston Bruins hockey on NESN is brought to you by Amica Insurance, now with new lower auto insurance rates for Massachusetts drivers. By Kettle One. By Subaru of New England. And by TD Bank. America's most convenient bank. Alongside Andy Brickley with Garen Austin at ice level and our NESN production team, I'm Jack Edwards. The Bruins trail the Florida Panthers 2-1 with 20 minutes left to play in the game. Boston with a chance to expand its lead over trailing Florida to 6 points, or see it possibly cut to as little as 2. Let's fly to the bench for an interview with Brick and Bruins assistant coach Doug Jarvis, brought to you by Cape Air. Your wings to 44 cities in the U.S., the Caribbean, and Micronesia. Book your tickets at capeair.com now.
Doug, let's start with the Florida Panthers. When you guys game plan for this club, what do you try to take away from them or certainly minimize?
Well, they're a very positional team, and we certainly have to be at our best as far as our puck movement to work through both their forecheck and their neutral zone, and we need to create a little more speed through that neutral zone against them. I thought the first period we had that. I thought off the rush we were exposing them, and we're getting some good middle drive. Not so much that period.
How much do you have to balance here going into the third period down by a goal? A little bit of patience, but also that sense of urgency to win a hockey game.
Well, certainly the sense of urgency has to be there, and I think it's going to come off of our forecheck. We got to get that puck deeper than we did in that second period, and we got to get our forecheck in place and create those turnovers, which hopefully will turn into offensive chances.
Well, thanks for the insight. Good luck in the third period.
Thanks, Andy.
Game summary is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. And Brick, you were getting into it just as we were making the transition to Dale in the studio at the end of the second. Part of getting the forecheck going is helping each other, and players who don't have the puck making themselves available and being in better competitive position for the puck when they're trying to get it out of the defensive zone.
Yeah, exactly right. And we can talk about X's and O's. We can talk about playing without the puck. And we can talk about that weak side winger making himself more available in order to relieve pressure and walk out of your own zone. But what it really comes down to here, Jack, is, think about this as your season. This is a game you got to win. You got to beat Florida. You're maybe not going to get any help from Washington in the game tonight. Maybe Detroit helped you with Ottawa, but you got to beat the teams that are below you. You got to put them down, and this is your opportunity here. You got a couple of tough games coming up. You got to go into Detroit. You got to go into Washington. You got to go to Florida with a home game against Toronto in there in between. So understand the importance of this third period.
Yeah, this is it. This is the thing that is so riveting about hockey, when one team raises the bar and the other team finds a way, whether it gets the breaks or not, to clear that bar. And now can the Bruins answer with a surge of their own? Krejci to Chara, brings it to the far side. Marchand bunts the puck ahead for Bergeron. He twists the backhand pass. Mitchell can't get it past Barkov, but there's Krejci. Bergeron with a chance in front as the puck bounced over the goal and right into the crease. Good Branson along the boards. Chara stacks up Jágr. Bergeron goes back to retrieve.
And it didn't look like Luongo picked that puck up in time. I don't know if Bergeron was bothered by the chop of the stick, but that puck just slid wide, low on the glove side. Talked about the importance of breaking the puck out. Good decisions, good execution. Nice delay by David Krejci. And essentially, that's that weak side play right there, Jack. This time it's to the defenseman Chara. That's available too. The Bruins able to walk out. No forecheck by Florida. Now you get your forecheck game going, which is exactly what Doug Jarvis is talking about. Get that puck deep, establish the forecheck, and maybe that little poke check by Gudbranson bothers Bergeron's attempt just enough to make it slide by.
Torrey Krug up the wing for Milan Lucic, and there's another good breakout. Cross corner, skipping dump in. Pastrnak hits the brakes, tries to drag it away from Kulikov. Spooner gets the puck back to Seidenberg. He knocks it to the end wall. Good hit from Spooner on Petrovic to keep the puck moving. Pastrnak goes down, and Trocheck will go to the box. It's been a rough go for Vincent Trocheck. He's had a few third period penalties in his last couple of games.
Well, again, establishing the forecheck. The cross corner dump with a purpose by Lucic. Allows Spooner and Pastrnak get in there. When the puck tries to square it out, a nice play by Seidenberg to keep the puck deep below the goal line. Now you spin off the wall in one-on-one coverage, and you draw the penalty. Hey, look, Florida got a power play goal. It's 2-1 game. Your power play's got to be a weapon in these types of contests.
Bruins without a shot on goal in their two previous power plays, and in fact, they have not been able to control the puck off a single special teams face-off yet tonight.
Well, they did hit a crossbar with the man advantage on the drive by Krejci.
Yep. But as any goalie will tell you, it's not on the goal, is it? Krejci has Spooner on the right. Spooner holds with Krug sneaking in the back door. Krejci's drive deflects off a body and goes wide. Spooner whips it toward Eriksson. Goodbranson with some steam on it gets it around the boards in 200 feet.
That's an underrated play, by the way, right there by Goodbranson. Johnny Boychuk was real good at it. Kevin Miller real good at it. That hard wraparound, long distance, and it clears the zone.
Yeah, and if you miss the angle, it turns into a scoring chance sometimes. Petrovic lifts the puck out. Torrey Krug in his own end of the ice. Doesn't connect with Krejci, and Jokinen will just toss it toward Rask, and some boos ring down on the Bruins with less than a minute to go on the Boston power play. Lucic barrels past McKenzie, fires it right through the blue paint in the crease. Chara along the line to Krug. Soderberg sneaking in front. Chara the drive, double deflection. A save by Luongo. He loses the stick to the end boards. Can the Bruins make him pay?
As long as he didn't throw it.
Right. Krug with the puck bouncing over his stick. Pasternak holds. Luongo still without the stick. Chara at the top of the circle. The shot. Save. Rebound. Barkov can't clear. Chara bomb. Saved by Luongo. The puck free. Barkov off the boards. Luongo recovers the stick, and the Bruins can't cash in.
They were making the right plays. They got into the umbrella. They set up Chara for a couple opportunities. Chara also looking for the redirect by Lucic in the high slot. Luongo robs Soderberg with the blocker and stick.
3 shots on goal during the power play just expired. Dave Bolin wheels the backhand, but it's off of McQuaid's glove, turns into a hand pass as Marchand gets the next touch.
All right, you don't bury one on the power play, but you got some momentum out of it. Now you got to build on it 5-on-5. Here's the rebound opportunity. Soderberg elevates the puck beautifully. Get the overhead. That's a pretty good stop by Luongo with the blocker as he loses his stick on the save.
And Brick, I'm not sure, but he does have a shoulder injury. I don't know if it's to the blocker side shoulder. Krejci tries to poke it past Brian Campbell, picks it up, swoops to the backhand, sizzles it over to Seidenberg. He flips it off of Jágr's skates. It is his right shoulder, we're told by the truck. Thank you very much. And you figure Luongo's probably got that strapped up, and I'm not saying that he didn't mean to let go of the stick, but I don't think he threw it intentionally.
No, I don't either. Yeah. I just raised the question, right. But also you saw that reaction. It looked like there was some pain in making the save.
Yep. Well, there's no doubt he's sucking it up for his team, but coming up big tonight. Bergeron in the corner. Trocheck tries to keep him under control there. When Bergeron loses control of the puck, Chara can't keep it in the attacking zone. Spins away from Jimmy Hayes, who's one of the few forwards who can match up almost size for size with Chara. Bouncing puck in the center zone. Chara gloves it down. Now it's Trotman indirect, looking to connect with Talbot. Let's go Bruins. The chant from the 17,565 at TD Garden. Zdeno Chara. Ahead to Talbot. Gregory Campbell. Trotman twirls it to the dot. Mitchell gives it up to Trotman in the neutral zone. Hammers it in as the Bruins change out. Talbot pursues the puck. Bartkowski fresh off the bench. Skips it wide of Luongo. Lucic hits the brakes. Goodbranson caves him in as he was a little bit off balance. Bouncing puck. McQuaid back after him. Brandon Peary giving him a one-handed whack. Bartkowski reverses all the way to Pasternak. Pasternak gives forward to Lucic. He's got Bartkowski far side. Lucic's shot goes over the stick side of Luongo's goal. And Dave Bolin chugs back right across the center circle. Gains the Boston line. Pulls up looking for Boys in front with a pass way offline. Spooner holds on the far side. Gives to McQuaid. Adam McQuaid returns to Ryan Spooner. Milan Lucic switching to the off wing. Knocks the puck past Kolyakov. Petrovic into the corner. Now Kolyakov in front of his own goal. Gives ahead to Derek McKenzie. He comes up ice 2-on-2 with Kopetsky. Fires it off Seidenberg's stick. And that one flips over the end glass out of play.
Tonight after the post-game show, stay right here for NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Adam and Sarah will have the latest on the Bruins' playoff hopes. Details on Patriots owner Robert Kraft testifying at the Aaron Hernandez trial, and an update on the Red Sox injury situation. Get all you need to know tonight, right after the post-game show.
Third periods have been a problem for the Bruins. 25th in the league in goal differential in the third at -12. And Boston has sunk to 29th in the NHL in third period goals scored with 49. Only Arizona with 46 has scored fewer. Smith has to cowboy up on the Boston bench, thinking he was avoiding a too many men on the ice penalty, and then they counted behind him and he decided to hop back down. McKenzie around the boards for Jágr, coming back to the hash marks. The puck deflects to Ekblad. He sends a backhand ahead to Huberdeau, swiveling it off the wall. Seidenberg can't clear. Jágr turns to the forehand, fires it toward goal. Seidenberg blocks it. Krug takes the puck to safety, but his angle pass comes to McKenzie of Florida. Seidenberg tries again and lugs it out to the red line. He flips the backhand out of the end boards. Aaron Ekblad off the skates of Smith into the air. Barkov ahead over the Boston line. Florida has to call off the rush with Jágr down. Smith a little wiggle of the hips. Goes 1 against 3. Luongo will take the face-off. The Bruins will try to win the puck in the attacking zone when the game resumes. Panthers 2, Bruins 1. A soft goal is the difference in this one. Bruins are getting some help from the Red Wings in terms of Boston trying to keep separation with Ottawa, but Boston's got to take care of business. By the way, as Brick almost predicted, Washington's up 4-2. Krejci's shot off a stick, bounces to the corner. Brandon Pirri off glass, twists to the middle. Dave Bolin careful with the puck, gets it to Brad Boyes on the follow through. It's past the red line and in deep. Seidenberg shielding from Pirri's forecheck. Bolin gets it right in front. Goodbranson off of Boyes' elbow, and Bergeron picks up the puck. Boyes knocks it out of the air. Finds the puck at his own line. Seidenberg drops Pirri right in front of the penalty bench. Krejci over the line with Marchand going middle. Bergeron hits the brakes. Boyes on the stick check. Trocheck swivels the indirect pass long for Pirri, who doesn't have much gas left in the tank for this shift.
I think that pass was actually intended for Krug coming down the wide side, but Bergeron was right on his backhand, so he decided to take it. Krejci tried to look like he lay it over there for Krug, coming with speed.
Chara long for Kelly. He redirects the puck to the end boards. Kolyakov takes the hit from Gregory Campbell, who just got carved up by his own stick as it caught the linesman, who was ponied up on the Florida bench. Chara. Trotman accelerates the puck through the corner, and it rattles through Talbot, sliding all the way toward Luongo. He steers it over to Petrovic, just out of Kelly's range. Jokinen twists the puck through the neutral zone. Zdeno Chara picks it up for Boston. Off the corner glass, Petrovic stumbles a little bit. Kolyakov took Jokinen. Now McKenzie accelerates to Thornton over the Boston line. The shot off Chara hits the metal apron at the bottom of the goal. Talbot finds the puck first. Backhand pass intercepted Kopetsky. Chara takes the hit from McKenzie. Kelly takes the hit from Kopetsky, and Talbot gets it up ice. No icing. The Bruins change out behind it.
Yeah, this is a line I was going to be curious about that was going to come out on the ice for Florida. Huberdeau on the left side, Barkov in the middle, and Jágr will come up. He missed a lot of that second period, Jack. We didn't talk a lot about it, but may have hurt a hand or a wrist. That was the word in between periods. Only played a couple of shifts in period number 2.
Jágr sliding the puck back of the Boston goal. Adam McQuaid snaps the puck off the boards, keeps on dribbling. Jágr tries to rake it back in and finally gets control. Huberdeau a little pop-up, and then he takes it over the line looking for Barkov. Middle to Barkowski, paired with McQuaid, takes it away. Ekblad around the board. Now it's Huberdeau. McQuaid drives his body into Huberdeau, but bounces off. Florida keeps possession back in its own end of the ice. Goodbranson back to Willie Mitchell. Mitchell up toward the Boston line. Boyes tips the puck off the boards and gets it past the goal line. Seidenberg stabs it ahead. Pasternak whips it cross ice. Lucic drops for Spooner. Right on goal. It's in! Pasternak on the doorstep. The kids do it again, and it's 2-2. They are a human adrenaline rush.
And it's a simple little dump in by Florida. The Bruins are completing their line change. They get the Spooner line on the ice, replacing the Soderberg line, and it's just a nice play by Seidenberg up to Pastrnak. Pastrnak with that high lob, which can be highly effective. We talk about support all the time and how important it is and critical it is, not only to puck possession, but helping create offense and defending in your own zone. Pucks to the net. Not sure if Pastrnak gets the blade of his stick on it, but it's a heads-up play by Lucic and Spooner to get the puck to the goal. And the Bruins catch a break.
Well, one each way. The guess is that Spooner gets the goal. Luongo certainly wasn't comfortable with Pastrnak right in his grill. Brad Boyce turns, centers it, pinballs around first off Krug. Now Pastrnak in the defensive zone corner, up to Spooner, but Pirri checks him off the puck. Boland's wrist shot, Boyce on the tip. Pirri in a battle with Seidenberg, and on they go as Pirri goes down. Seidenberg so strong, using those strong legs as a platform and then going to work with the upper body, and Pirri has a bee under his bonnet. He took a shot at Seidenberg on the way by. This game's got some really nice nasty to it right now. Krejci feeds it forward. Marchand darting up the left wing against Petrovic. Spins to the hash marks. Low for Bergeron. Holds off the Kolyakov hit. Back to Chara. He's got room. The bomb saved by Luongo. Off the body all the way to the boards. Chara got all of that one and he got it on goal. Krejci to the hash marks, dangles against Jokinen, self-pass behind his back. Krejci to Trotman, the drive, off the leg, Krejci from his knees to Marchand, stuck in the pads. Luongo takes it away, but Luongo looks like he's in pain down on the ice. Listen to the crowd at TD Garden. Pasternak's goal, but for Bruins fans, who cares?
Well, seventh player tonight, why not give it to him? He's going to get some decent position against Mitchell. Not great position. Whether he touches it or not, the Bruins are able to tie the game. We've looked at it a number of times. It almost looks like he doesn't get a piece. If he does, it only changes direction slightly. It actually goes off Luongo and up and over.
From Pasternak's reaction, immediately pointing at Spooner. As you say, Brick, the players know. Bergeron to Marchand, the shot, and Luongo makes the save. Brad Marchand, if he is not able to score in this game, will have gone 12 consecutive games without a goal. And since his first season, in which he played 20 games in mostly a part-time role, that will equal the longest goal-scoring drought of his career. He's had 12-game droughts twice before. Jaromir Jagr pulls up short from the center circle. Barkov going around the goal, but Rask gets to the puck first. It's off Marchand skates. Jagr fighting for it. Huberdeau underneath Marchand. Here's good. Branson is rocket and a save by Rask. The official announcement from Jim Martin, the public address announcer, is it's Pasternak's goal from Spooner and Lucic, but we'll keep an eye on the game summary electronically and see if they change it.
Yeah, when Krejci made that aerial pass the other night for a breakaway attempt by Marchand, called it the pass of the year. Well, that high lob play can be very effective if you're good at making that type of pass. Pastrnak went with that high lob. I don't think it got deflected. I think he was trying to go high over everybody to allow Lucic to skate in the puck. And Spooner recognizes that, and he gets close proximity for support.
Derek McKenzie stabs at the puck, rakes it free. Here's Alex Petrovic at the line, but Kelly out for the block. Talbot trying to feed it through to Kelly, but it hits Campbell's skates on the way. Brian Campbell from Florida now takes it, gives it to Petrovic. This is off Thornton's stick. He casually redirects it so there's no icing. Bartkowski the backhand. Brian Campbell pinches down, takes it away from Chris Kelly. Gregory Campbell off the board safely to center. Max Talbot goes right through McKenzie, and it's ruled that Talbot got across the line without possession, and the puck followed him in, so it's offside.
Play the all-new Ultimate Garden Party instant ticket today. The $5 ticket offers 4 top instant prizes of $250,000 and more than 1.8 million instant prizes ranging from $5,000 to $10,000. The new ticket also features 4 second chance drawings, including unprecedented opportunity to win access to every ticket event held at TD Garden for an entire year. Pick up the new Ultimate Garden Party instant ticket at a lottery retailer near you.
Well, Brick, we talked about teams answering surges of opponents. Since Florida took the lead, shots on goal are 12-4 in favor of the Bruins. 2 of Florida's shots have been dump-ins from outside the zone. One of them was that long shot by Goodbranson from out at the blue line. The Bruins have answered with a surge of their own, and the breaks have evened out. As one got past Luongo, the Heat probably want back, and Tuukka Rask is probably going to throw himself under the bus for that second goal by Florida, the boys' goal.
No, it doesn't matter now.
Right, doesn't. It's a brand new game. Riley Smith comes away, maybe leaking a little bit. It'll either be 2 minutes or 4 for high sticking with Brian Campbell gliding toward the box.
Oh, Bruins just keeping the pressure on Florida. To your point, Jack. Keep the pressure on a team that can't really generate puck possession and any kind of offense here. Good forecheck. Body contact by Smith. The turnaround, that's a pretty aggressive high stick by Campbell. He's only going to get to 2 minutes. Bruins got a number of good looks. Chara had a couple of looks on the last power play. The great rebound chance for Soderberg. Build off it. Have a good feeling with the man advantage right now if you're Boston.
Erik Goodbranson in the corner. Bergeron and Louis Eriksson there. Bolin makes the effort to get the puck forward to Jussi Jokinen. Jokinen, a good one-on-one player of the shot, and a glove save by Rask. Torrey Krug leads Patrice Bergeron all the way to the attacking line. Now Louis Eriksson against Goodbranson. Goodbranson gives it right to Spooner. Indirect to Krug along the line to Krejci. He's got plenty of space working against Bolin. The other forward still Jokinen. Here's Spooner closing the shot off of Bergeron. Bolin finds it, and Krejci, great hands at the line to keep it in. Krug turns, faces the goal. Bolin with the block out high. Goodbranson in the corner, off the glass, and all the way down to Rask.
Yeah, I got to give Louis Eriksson credit, Jack. He's the one. It wasn't Goodbranson that hammered it right to Spooner. It was Eriksson got his stick in there and forced it to Spooner. That allowed the Bruins to get a couple of looks.
Here's Pastrnak on the fly, tries the circus move, can't quite pick it up on the backside of Petrovic. Chara along the line to Krejci. Krejci the diagonal. Pastrnak going for the one-timer, but the puck skips. And Petrovic clears it the length of the rink. 3/4 of a minute still to go on the Boston man advantage. The Bruins and Florida Panthers 2-2. Boston leading Florida by 4 points in the standings. Boston in the playoff structure, and Florida 2 teams out. Smith to Lucic, off the boards to Pastrnak, getting away from Kopetsky's harassment. Goodbranson and Lucic on the boards. Riley Smith to the middle of the line, gives to Pastrnak. The shot goes off of Goodbranson's stick. Goodbranson takes an extra poke at Pastrnak. Soderberg whiffs on the attempt to center it past Willie Mitchell. Mitchell gets a piece of his second effort, and the Panthers spin it out of the zone with 10 seconds to go. The power play will expire as the Bruins have the puck in their own zone. 0 shots on goal during an excellent penalty kill for the Florida Panthers. The Panthers kept good structure and frustrated the Bruins. Here's Gregory Campbell off the apron of the goal. Now it's McQuaid past Huberdeau. Talbot working against Kolyakov, can't kick the puck along. Petrovic angles off Talbot, but Gregory Campbell gets in the fray. Brian Campbell takes Huberdeau's pass, ladles it out through the neutral zone. Seidenberg turns the Boston goal with Barkov on his back. Adam McQuaid reverses away from Jágr. Chris Kelly spins the puck high out of the Boston zone, but Kolyakov takes possession back immediately for Florida. Dmitry Kolyakov at the red line off of Alexander Barkov's stick. Rask has to take a face-off in the Boston zone with 4.5 to go in the game. The drama builds at TD Garden. The Bruins and Panthers all tied up. Report brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Brandon Bury continues his torrid pace. He now has 12 goals in his last 14 games. No assists. And hey, you finish, your teammates love you. And that's why they love David Pastrnak. Whether or not he got the tying goal, we're still not sure. Ryan Spooner fired it toward Luongo, but it's too late.
You know, if you had 40 goals and no assists, and I had no goals and 40 assists, who would make more money?
Oh, your rhetoric is brilliant. Brad Marchand across the center down to Patrice Bergeron. Back to Marchand. The backhand, a diving effort from Goodbranson to keep Marchand from getting anything on it. Seidenberg along the goal line, off the leg of Goodbranson. It comes forward to Boyes. Boyes through Bergeron. Bolin dumps the puck out in front of himself. Backhands it toward Rask, who steers it with the right leg pad. And here's Krug. Indirect off the boards for Krejci. He holds the puck, gives to Bergeron. He's got Marchand ahead. The pass too far forward. Brian Campbell might have gotten a piece of Bergeron's stick. Quick pivot to the post. Bergeron with 2 chances on Luongo, but Luongo holds the short side with 3:55 to go.
There's some open ice for Boston. Take advantage of it. Marchand had the first chance. Got to step over the blue line. Bergeron's going to drive Mitchell to him, but it was a nice diving effort by Goodbranson to disrupt the chance by Marchand. Look at the open space on the other side. You had Krug coming, you had Marchand coming. The Bruins just didn't connect, but Bergeron hunts the puck down, tries to sneak one short side under the right arm of Luongo, but he sealed off the short side.
Spooner and Trocheck on the faceoff. Trocheck wins it back to Petrovic. Off the corner boards, Bartkowski having trouble with the puck in his skates. Bartkowski getting mowed down as the Panthers pour into the zone. I think it was Jimmy Hayes that knocked him over. Here's Kolyikov's shot, saved by Rask, getting pulled out of the crease as Hayes and Jokinen are down close. And now McQuaid and Hayes, that would be a heavyweight bout. But the linesman, Michel Cormier, steps in.
Bartkowski had a little trouble in the neutral zone trying to get this puck back in the offensive direction. Pretty good pressure by the Panthers and a nice job to stay on side by Jokinen, and that allowed Hayes and the rest of that line to get some offensive zone time. Trocheck back to the point. Rask almost way outside that blue paint, trying to get a good angle on the puck and had to extend that glove hand and try to get a face-off, which he did.
That's some pretty good-sized boys right there. Seidenberg off the boards. Eriksson gets stacked up by the 19-year-old Ekblad. Soderberg wiggles the puck to Smith. Back to Soderberg. The tight turn at the hash marks. He has McQuaid back at the blue line. Twirls it off a stick and up out of play with 3.5 to go.
Yeah, the natural reaction in that situation by Soderberg is, I got the point, man, I'm going to slide it out to him. But if you're not 100% sure in a 2-2 game with huge impact in the standings right now, you try to turn and put that puck on goal. Totally understand that.
Yep, and most of all, don't make the kind of mistake at the attacking line that's going to lead to an odd man run.
Yeah, don't play scared. Just make the high percentage play.
Yep. Trotman in the middle of the line, tosses the backhand over Huberdeau's stick to Krejci. His wrist shot goes into Barkov's legs. Mitchell takes a hit to clear the zone. Jágr trying to go 1 against 2, but Bergeron and Trotman breaking down Huberdeau. Good stick handling around Bergeron, but Krejci's the next layer. Trotman to Chara, quickly to Bergeron. Bergeron tries to flip the puck through Goodbranson's legs, but can't. Now Jágr gains the Boston line with the big reach and the puck way out in front. The drive from Mitchell and a save by Rask. A hot rebound to the corner. Mitchell gets it low for Huberdeau. Krejci nudges the puck forward. Bergeron has it. That comes off Huberdeau's stick cross ice. Chara turns it past Jágr. Jágr takes it back. Krejci wiggles through the forest of bodies to get the puck back to Trotman.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit tougher on and harder on Jágr. Don't let him make plays.
Aaron Ekblad, the #1 pick, gives it ahead to Puri off of Campbell's feed. 2:20 to go in the game. Here's Ekblad, high into Eriksson's body. Soderberg to Smith. Bangs his stick on the ice in frustration as the puck was wobbling and he couldn't get a good handle on it. Brad Boyes going 1 against 3 against Seidenberg in front of him and Eriksson behind him, as Krug also was in the neighborhood. Bolin redirects it. Boyes tries the snapshot. Eriksson, and here's a batted puck out of the air. Was it Bolin?
Looked like it.
This puck caroms through the neutral zone, and they're going to whistle it back to the Boston end. Some wild, frenetic action in front of the Boston goal.
Don't need to see him score another big goal in this building.
Especially at that end.
Puck's up for grabs, and that's great hand-eye coordination. Got a lot on it, too. That would have been pretty controversial, wouldn't it? If that had found the back of the net.
Good lacrosse move. Petrovic gives it far side. Jokinen's wrist shot off. Gregory Campbell. Spooner tries to lift Hayes' stick. Hayes goes indirect off the corner boards. It's a billiard shot around for Jokinen. Spins in reverse looking for Derek McKenzie. Chara staples him in. Gregory Campbell, the backhand up but not out. Jokinen just wide of the glove side post. Jimmy Hayes forward the goal line. Bangs hard into Chara. World-class collision there, and there's another one for you. Gregory Campbell carries it out, wafts it out to the red line. 1:15 to go in the game. Ryan Spooner and Milan Lucic around the puck. Lucic gains the line. The shot scores! Milan Lucic with his biggest goal of the season. 1:09 to go. 3-2 Bruins.
Just real good puck pursuit by this line. They overload the one side. Spooner does a nice job of getting back on side through traffic, but it's Milan Lucic with a one-man rush. The gap wasn't there for Florida because the turnover was right outside the defensive blue line, and the quick counter by Milan Lucic and the bullet of a snapshot right through the legs of Roberto Luongo. The Bruins with a one-goal lead, 1:09 left in regulation.
Detroit leading Ottawa 1-0 in the third period. Boston 69 seconds away from opening up a 6-point gap on Florida. Both teams will have 5 games remaining with one head-to-head matchup after tonight. Luongo has vacated the Florida net. 6 skaters against 5. Ekblad stabs the puck ahead to Jaromir Jagr. Chara knocks it down, spins it up into the air. Huberdeau on the tight turn. McQuaid knocks the puck down. Jagr tosses toward the corner. Bolin to the dot, rattles around. Barkov can't control Bergeron. It gets knocked out of the air by Ekblad. And now Krejci slides the puck to space. Barkov angles him off. Marchand picks it up. It's offside.
They call it
a holding penalty coming here. Holding the stick.
Yeah, Boston had possession. I think they're going to go. Looks like David Krejci.
2 minutes for holding the stick.
Wow.
Nothing.
6 on 4. 6 on 4 for Florida. Little toe pick by Krejci. There's a free hand on the shaft of the stick of Barkov, and that's going to be the penalty call against the Bruins, David Krejci. I'm sure there's a timeout on the ice, probably in favor of Florida. Krejci in the box, 6 on 4 for Florida. Plenty of time, 27.6 seconds. Bruins are going to need a major 30-second effort right here to protect this 2 points and not allow this game to get to overtime.
Key play brought to you by your New England Audi dealers. Milan Lucic with his 18th of the season.
Just love this effort right here. I don't know if Florida thought this was offside or not. From the angle right there, it looks like Spooner's onside. Milan Lucic just with that, I'm going to be a difference maker kind of move, Jack. The quick attack. I mean, there's plenty of Panthers back, but the gap's not there because of the way that puck got chipped into the neutral zone.
A ringer by Hayes off a clean face-off win. Bolin took it away from Bergeron, and Jimmy Hayes boinks one off the post. Bolin turns to face the goal, throws it in front. Bergeron can't clear it past Peary. 12 seconds to go. Bolin top of the circle. The shot off McQuaid. Rattles to the end boards. Jimmy Hayes on it. Tosses it high. Bergeron gloves it down. 4 seconds to go. Peary at the line. Bergeron pressures. The clock runs out. The Bruins have opened up a 6-point advantage on the Florida Panthers, and Chara and Hayes are in a mutual headlock as the final siren sounds.
Entering that third period, you want a little patience because it's only a one-goal game, but you needed that sense of urgency. They got a great break on the Pastrnak goal, but they really played to win in the third period, Jack. When the game was on the line, down by a goal, the Bruins brought it, and they're rewarded.
They have won 3 in a row, and but for a crazy sequence against Anaheim that easily could have gone Boston's way, it could be 4 in a row. They have answered surge with surge. 91 points for the Bruins, and it could be a little bit of comfort as Detroit continues to lead Ottawa. Dale?
Gee, not much going on here tonight, huh? Coming up on Ace Ticket Bruins Overtime Live, the Bruins 2-goal third period. They get the win tonight. Jack and Brick will talk with head coach Claude Julien. We'll catch you up to date on all the wild card latest.